My name is Dr. Jim Dolson, but you know what? Let's just go with Jim. This video is going to give you a little bit of a background about me and my life and my testimony. I'm doing this so that you know who I am and you know the context of my decision making and my thoughts and that sort of thing. I'm sitting here in my home office in Jackson, Michigan. I call Michigan home, and most of my children and grandchildren live here as well. One of the things I want to share with you as we begin this class together is my faith journey and how I came to know Christ. I came to know Christ as my Savior as a teenager. I was raised in a Catholic home. My mom was the real spiritual leader in my younger years until I was an early teen. And she was always very clear with my sisters and me about Christ's love and grace for us. However, life changed in our home when I was a young teen. I was about 13 years old when my dad turned his life over to Jesus Christ. And my life changed dramatically from that point forward. I saw an immediate and a profound difference in my dad's life. He acted differently, he behaved better, and his perspective on life, it changed. His conversion set an example for me, and I became a believer in Jesus Christ when I was 15. I went to a local Billy Graham crusade with my family, and my acceptance of Christ as Savior changed me eternally from that moment on. You know, Christ changed my dreams and my purpose. My dream was to be single for a very long time. I wanted to go work in the Silicon Valley, as a matter of fact, and didn't really have any interest in having children. But God had different plans. So as a young college student, I met my wife, and we were married at the age of 20. So much for being a single guy for very long. We've been married now for 34 years. We have 4 adult grown children, all married, and now we have grandchildren as well. We have 7 grandchildren. All of our children attended Christian schools and they married believers. And God's plan for my family's life was so much better and different than anything I could have planned and done on my own. My wife and I now belong to a local Southern Baptist church where we've been members since the late 80s. I'm an associate pastor there, as a matter of fact. We teach a small group Bible study, and I assist the full-time pastoral team in fulfilling various responsibilities and that sort of thing. Well, that said, I also want you to know a little bit more about my professional life. So in addition to being an adjunct instructor here at NCU and as well as at another university, I work as a corporate recruiter and do business development with a firm here in Jackson. While I now work in an industry helping people to find meaningful work, that's not really where I started. That's not where I began. My undergraduate degree is in computer engineering from the University of Michigan. It was back in the mid-'80s, a lot different today than it was then. And I worked for nearly 25 years in the automotive industry, in technology and product engineering. Really got out of the whole IT business after about maybe 10 years or so. Got into engineering and manufacturing and management, and I really enjoyed my time in the automotive world. In 2005, though, God called me, tugged at my heart to do something greater than what my career at that time offered. And my career in the automotive industry, it was fulfilling, it was exciting, it was fun, it paid great. I loved what I was doing, I was passionate about serving God in that industry. But God laid on my heart a different purpose. Honestly, I wasn't excited to leave the automotive industry. And I had my Jonah moment, if you will. I ran from God's call for almost a year. And in response, God removed that passion from me that I had for that career in the automotive world. And I developed a void of purpose, kind of a blank spot inside of me. And life was painful, and I felt lost for a little bit. Nevertheless, God in His sovereignty and grace, He didn't give up on me. He didn't leave me alone. He gave me a new passion and a vision to work in the Christian school environment. And in June of 2006, I enrolled in my first graduate level education course at Eastern Michigan University, just down the road in Ypsilanti, Michigan. And that was my time when I stepped, if you will, stepped toward the place where God wanted me to go. And so I started taking these classes in education while I was still working in the automotive industry. And it was kind of a strange thing, but God changed my passions in my life, and I could not have been more joyful. I completed a master's degree in education and educational leadership in 2008, and then a doctorate degree in 2013. And from 2008 until 2016, I was superintendent at a local Christian school right here in our hometown. In summary, my whole life has been a journey to get to know Him and to better understand His great love for me. God has directed my path from one career to the next, even with me going along reluctantly sometimes, but from one dream to another, allowing me to serve Him as I go. And you know what? The truth is this: I only partially understand the ugliness of my own sin, and therefore I can really only partially understand the enormity of His grace. Our God is so good. Well, listen, I hope that helps you understand me and my faith and my work experiences a little bit better. I'm looking forward to getting to know you better throughout this term as well, and in the terms to follow. As I close, I want to remind you of, like I do so many others that I come in contact with throughout my day, and here it is, that God is on His throne. He's always been there, and He always will be. God bless. I'm looking forward to working with you.